All right, good morning, class. So today we are going to be talking about how to find the area of a triangle. So you remember to find an area of like a square, it is always your length times width, right? So it's similar for a triangle, except for we're kind of adding an extra step to it, okay? And then the wording's different. So in a square area, would be A equals length times width, okay? So you can see my writing there for a little bit. But for a triangle, they changed the wording. So length is replaced by the word base. Base is basically the bottom part of your triangle. So wherever your triangle is resting is your base, okay? So let's erase that. So here I have the formula. Area equals half times base times height. Okay, so that's how you find an area of a triangle. So we're going to kind of walk through how to do that. If area for a triangle equals half times base times height, first we're going to multiply our base times height together before we multiply the fraction half, okay? So first we're going to find the base and height of the triangle. So we find here our base is 18. So we already have it right here. Okay, so we're 18 is our base, and then our height is 23 feet. So we're going to multiply 18 times 23. Okay, so 18 times 23. I always put the higher number on top when I'm multiplying just because I think it's easier, but you can do it either way. So 18 times, or 23 times 18, or 18 times 23, doesn't matter. We're going to multiply. So 8 times 3 is 24. We're going to carry our 2 up there. And we have 8 times 2 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Okay, and then we're going to move on. Put our 0 there. To 1 times 3, which is 3. 1 times 2, which is 2. Add these all together. So we have 4. And then 8 plus 3 is 11. Carry our 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 2 is 4. So base times height equals 414. I'm going to kind of erase this right now so we have some room to work. So if our base times height is 414 square feet so far, now we have to multiply that half, right? So now we are working on remembering how to multiply a fraction by a whole number. Okay, so if we're 414 was 414 was our, my pen is not working. Okay, so 414. And now we got to multiply this by half, right? So basically, to make this really easy, is whatever your number is, your answer from base times height, you are dividing it by 2. So if we have 2 divided by 414, you can see that our answer is going to be 207, right? Because that's what it says here as it breaks down the formula. So we're 207 would be our answer. So the area for the triangle here, this blue triangle, is 207 square feet. So you could always write FT with a little 2 up there. Okay. And that's how we find our area of a triangle. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more practice. All right, so we're going to move to this purple triangle right here, and we're going to find what our area of the purple triangle is going to be. So we have our base. So we're going to write our information. So our base is 17 feet, right? So here's the base. And then our height, remember, because height is how tall you are. So how tall is the triangle is 10 feet. Okay, so we have our information. So now we're going to multiply 17 times 10. Okay, so 0, 0, right? So the answer is 170. So our answer is 170 for base times height of the purple triangle. And then we're going to divide 170 in half. Okay, so we're going to divide 170 by 2, which would be, how close can we get to 17? Right, would be 16. So 8 times 2 is 16. Right, and then 2 can go into 10 5 times. So our answer here for the area of the triangle is going to be 85. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit more practice just so we can get into the rhythm of finding our areas of triangle. And then I'm going to show you how to kind of, if you're missing a base or a height, how are you going to find that? So first, let's do this one again, because this is decimal. Okay, so in IXL, you're going to find some of the triangles are going to have fractions in it. You're going to have to multiply fractions. Some are going to have decimal. So we're kind of going back and reviewing what we've already learned in our previous topics. Okay, so let's do our base, which is 6.3. Our height is 8.4. Okay, and we're going to multiply these together. So remember with decimals, you're going to move that decimal over to make it a whole number to kind of help you multiply so you don't get confused. So 3 times 4 is 12. Carry our 1 up there. 4 times 6 is 24, and then plus that 1 makes this 25. Okay, put our 0, and we're going to move down to 8 times 3 is 24. Put our 2 up there. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 2 is 50. Okay, so we have a large number. So 2, 5 plus 4 is 9. 2 plus 0 is 2, and then 5. Okay, so our number is 5,292. Okay, now we're going to have to divide this by 2. So we're going to do 2 divided by 5,292. So we're going to figure out how close can we get from 2 get to 52. Okay, so 2 can go into 5 2 times. This is with 1. Okay. It gives us 12. Bring down our 9. So 2 can go into 9 4 times, which gives us 8. This 1 and 2. So 6 can go into 12 2 times. So that gives us 0. Now you're wondering, where are we going to put our decimal, right? So how many times did we move that decimal? We moved it 2 times. So we're going to put our decimal back in to move it back 2 times. So we moved it from here to here to here in between the 6 and the 4. Okay. You could have done it here as well from where the 2 is after you figured out your answer from multiplying and moved it back. Whichever way is easier for you. Just remember you need to put that decimal back in. Okay, so our answer for the area of the green triangle here is 26.46 square feet. Okay. Now we're going to move on to an obtuse triangle here, and how can we find the area of an obtuse triangle? So how do we find an area of a triangle that is not a right triangle? So let's work on that. Okay. So here you see they kind of extended the triangle to with the little dotted lines to make it into a right triangle. So this will help us figure out the base and the height. So it says that the base is 20 meters. Our height is 22. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to multiply. Oops. Okay, so we're going to multiply 20 times 22. So we have our 0, 4, put our 0 down again, 0, and then 4. Okay, and we're going to add this together. It becomes 440. Okay, and then again, we're going to divide that by 2. So 2 can go into 4 2 times. Zero. We're going to bring down our 4. Again, 2 times. Bring down our 4. 0, and then 0. Then 2 goes into 0 0 times. Okay, so our answer would be 220 square meters. Okay, so we're going to put our answer as 220. Okay. All right. I know this seems like a lot of math, so I don't want you to get stressed out. So it's very simple things that we have already learned how to do. You are just doing a lot of multiplying and a lot of dividing. Okay. So once you get the hang of it, it's going to be super easy. Okay, so now we're going to find out how to find the missing length. Okay, so you might have a question in your IXL assignment that's going to ask you, what is the missing length or what is the missing height? And so this is how we're going to figure that out. Okay, so you're going to be working backwards. So we already know the area is 3 square meters. And we have our height, which is 2 meters. Okay, so think back. Remember how you had to, when you were finding an area, you were taking your base and your height, multiplying it together, and then dividing it by 2. Okay, so if we were to multiply 3 meters square, or square meters, right, that's your area, by 2, because remember, we originally had to divide it in half, that would get us 6, right? So now we're going to be dividing the height, which was 2, by that number 6, okay, which gives us 3. So your answer for J is 3. Okay, don't worry, we're going to try it again with another triangle. Okay, so if that kind of confused you, again, we're kind of working backwards when we're trying to find a missing length or a missing base. Okay, let's try the second one so you can kind of see how to do that again. All right, so here we have our base, which is 36 millimeters, and then our area, which is 594 square millimeters. So we're going to take 594, and we're going to multiply that by 2, because remember, originally to find the area, we had to divide it in half. So we want to find out what that number was that we had to divide in half to get the 594. So we're going to multiply. So 8, 18, and then 11. So the original number that we would have found if we were finding the area would have been 1,188. And then we would have divided that by 2 to get the 594. Okay, so now we're just going to take the 1,188 and we're going to divide it by 36. Because 36 is our base that we have already, and we're trying to find the height. Okay, so 36 goes into 118 how many times? So you'd have to figure out how many times does 36 go into 118, right? So you're going to figure that out. So we're going to figure that out right now. So what is the closest that we can get? Well, if we do 36 times 3, we're going to get, see, 18. Okay, and 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1, and that would give us 100, or 108. So, okay, so we have 108 if we did 36 times 3. If we went to 36 times 4, it's going to be too big, right? Because you're adding another 36 to the 108. So we're going to stop with 3. We're going to put our 3 up there. So, oops. Put our 3 above that first 8. So it's 108. Right? And that gives us 10. Okay, and then we're going to bring down that 8 again. And then 3, because we know 3 times 36 is 108. And you get 0. Okay, so our answer for the height is 33. Okay. And that's our last one. All right, so again, your assignment's in IXL. Please watch this video over and over until you get it. If you still have questions or need help with the assignment, please come in at 1 o'clock to our Zoom session, or you can always send me a message through the Google Classroom comments or GoGuardian, okay? And I will be able to help you. All right, have a good day.